Hi everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make Chiikawa with an exclusive pouch. Please pause if you need to, and let's get started. Let's start with Chiikawa's head, which is going to be 8 single crochet in a magic circle. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hold that magic circle tight, and we go into the first stitch of the round. Make a slip stitch and chain 1. This is how we're going to be ending all of our rounds for this pattern. I'll show you now what we should do for round 2. We're going to make 8 increases, but we're going to go into the stitch we made the slip stitch into. That's going to count as our first stitch. So this is 1, 2, so that's 1 increase, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to show you how to connect how to end the round again. So here we're not going to go into the slip stitch, we're not going to go into the chain 1, but we're going to go into the first stitch of our second round. So right here, make a slip stitch and chain 1. Make sure the slip stitch is tight. Okay, so that's it. That's how we're going to end and start off all of our rounds. Let's go to round 3. So this is the first single slip crochet of the round. Increase, 1, increase, 1, increase, 1, increase, 1, increase, 1, increase. So that is our third round. Again, not in the slip stitch, not in chain 1, but in the first stitch of our round. And that is round 3. Now we're going to round 4, and I'm going to add a stitch marker on the chain 1 so you guys can see the end of the round better. I don't usually have to do this because of the slip stitch chain 1 method, but if you did want to do it in continuous rounds, then you should have a stitch marker. But for this pattern, I highly recommend doing the slip stitch and chain 1 method. Okay, so round 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And around here, make single crochet all around. Okay, round 6 is done, and now we're just going to make 40 single crochet all around for 4 rounds, and I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. And now let's continue on to the next round. I've already made the 4 rounds, so I'm going to move my stitch marker up and we start decreasing. 1, 2, Now we are going to make for round 14A. This is probably going to be the trickiest part of the pattern, but it's not too difficult. It's quite easy. So let's start. So you already finished off your round, so you are going to insert your hook here into this stitch, make one single crochet into the back loop only, and then you decrease on the back loop only, just like that. And that is your first single crochet decrease, and we're gonna do this 7 more times. So 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, 1, decrease, and the last one, decrease. Okay, then just slip stitch into this right here, chain 1, and now to make round 14B, which we'll start the body with, we're going to find the front loop. So this one, the front loop of the loops that we basically just worked in. So this will be our first one. Just make a single crochet here, then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then we find our first single crochet of that round in there, and we chain 1, and that's going to be the start of our round now, and continue like normal. So now we go on both loops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to make basically another single crochet all around, but this one has a bobble stitch, so I'm going to teach you how to make that. So on our first stitch, so we have to go into this one. Let's start. So yarn over, pull a loop, and then it's basically like a double crochet, but it's not complete. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Let me do that again. So yarn over, go into the same loop, and then yarn over again and pull through. Now you have 4, but we're gonna pull through 2 of the loops. So now we have 3. And again, yarn over, then do the same thing, pull through 2, and you have 4. You have 4 now. And again, now you have 5, 6, and 1 more. That is 7. So we need 7 loops on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then yarn over and pull through all 7 of those loops, and we're done. Okay, and then make a single crochet here and continue as normal. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, and 23. Okay, and we're going to go into this loop, slip stitch, and that is the end of your round. We're gonna start decreasing now, but before that let's stuff our head. So I have the stuffing here. Make sure to stuff the head really quite well, and I like to just kind of like go in the middle and spread it out to the sides, and there you go. Obviously this is like up to personal preference, but I definitely prefer if his head was firmer, so something like this. Okay, let's start decreasing now. So go into that same one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have that. Take more of your stuffing and just stuff the body full. I also like to stuff the body full, but make sure not to put stuffing in like in this here, like we want them to look like they're separate. So something like this is already enough. And let's make the final round. So we decrease 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Slip stitch into the first stitch of the round like usual, chain 1, and finally we can fasten it off. There you go. And now let us close this hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I just go through the front loops. There you go. And weave in the ends Make sure not to pull it too tight when you're weaving it in, so there's no weird no weird grooves on the bottom. And cut it off. And this is the body done. Next, I will show you how to make his face. Now, to make his face is really quite simple. You need make sure it's like stiff felt and not soft felt, as you can see here. And you need another device. I'm going to flash this picture on the screen, so take a screenshot of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure using this picture how big our eyes and felt stuff has to be, kind of like a stance. Here we are going to zoom in and try to match the outline as much as possible. So okay, just a bit smaller, I think. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but this is how big it looks. As you can see, the scale is similar. Okay, and now we're going to take our felt. I'm just going to cut a small size to demonstrate, and basically just kind of cut a circle. Any rough circle will do. Do not zoom out this photo because again we need it for scale. And just kind of put it here to see if it matches. Okay, this is too big, so we're gonna cut it a bit smaller. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't even have to use this if you don't want to. Okay, and you can do the same exact thing with the blush. Yeah, there you go. So just do this. Make sure to have both sides. You don't copy the mouth, just the felt part, so just the eyes and the blush. And I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. So let me demonstrate how I make the whites of the eyes. I take a paint marker, any paint marker will do, and make sure to find the rough side and the smooth side. You have to look quite carefully, but the smooth side just doesn't have as much fuzzies, and the rough side has a lot more fuzzies. So just make sure your paint marker is working first, and use a piece of paper to just kind of like push down and make sure that the paint comes out. And what we're going to do is just kind of like paint it on, approximate his eyes like so. It's better to start small and make it bigger if you have to. Like this, and make the bottom just using a simple line. As something like that. And if there are mistakes, wait for this to dry. Wait for it to dry, and be careful not to put it on any surface that you want to keep clean, because it can bleed through sometimes. It didn't bleed through this time. Just take any old like permanent marker, and if there are mistakes, you just kind of like cover it up like this. So yeah, quite convenient. So just do the same thing for the other eye, and when it dries down, you're going to need probably another coat of this. So feel free to make like 2 to 3 coats until it becomes as white as you need it to be. Now I'm going to teach you how to make the blush. So for the blush, we're going to need like black sewing thread, so it's very thin, and of course a sewing needle, not a yarn needle, it has to be a sewing needle, and a pen, any pen will do. And we just kind of like mark where we want our blush to go. Make sure it's like slanted to one side. I usually like to do like slant this way. I'll do it like so, just kind of like dot it where I want it to be. Like that. And make sure that you can see them enough. Take your sewing needle and black thread, yarn this through, and tie it like this. Twist it twice, go into the big hole, and just kind of pull it tight. And as you can see, there's a knot at the bottom. That's what we need. So with the marks facing you, just kind of start, go to the first mark right here and pull it tight. Go to the second mark on the bottom. There you go, and that's like our first line. Didn't do the same thing for all of the next lines. So right here, I guess as accurately as you can to where you marked it. So be careful where you mark it. Like this. And the last one like so. Okay, it's not very even, but that's fine, doesn't have to be super even. And how you tie it off, I just go to the back, go into this black line and pull it through to make a loop, go through the loop and tie it off, and cut this really short as possible because we're going to be pasting it on. And there you go. And do this for both, so you have 2. Now that we have all of our parts here, take your Chiikawa and let's start with the mouth first because it helps us find our center point. Take embroidery thread, which is different from sewing thread, sticker, and take your smallest yarn needle. This is a yarn needle, not a sewing needle. Okay, and pull that through. We're gonna find the center, so this is our center, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to insert it right here in the center as possible. Right there. Okay. So now that you have it here, just count 1.5 to the left. Put it right in the half. You're going to go through the stitch this time, so like this, and same for the other side. So 1.5 our first side already, and we need to put it around here. Okay, so this is how you make the mouth. We have our tiny little mouth, and we're going to make the chin, I guess, at the bottom. I don't really know what to call it, but just go like half a stitch down right here and go into the same half a stitch area right here, and there you go. You have that like chin that Chiikawa has. So now that you have this, and we're going to put our eyes where we want them to be. I'll put a little diagram for you guys to see how many stitches apart it needs to be, but it should be about 4 stitches apart, like this, right above his nose, and his cheeks, like right below his eyes over there. Okay, and we just kind of and there you have it. That is his face done. 1, 2. So into this one, let's make single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and a slip stitch in the next one. And cut this, don't leave too short of a tail. And now we're going to fix this. Take your yarn needle and just insert it into the same stitch you started in, right here. Do the same for the other side. So just kind of place it somewhere that I put mine in the next stitch. So it's like, there you go. It should look like this. So to make the ear, start with a slip stitch like this. And then go 1, 2, 3, or like go in here, 1 slip stitch, half double crochet, single crochet in the same stitch, and make a slip stitch in the next stitch like so. Cut this, and we're going to fasten this off by putting in our yarn needle right here. There you go. And we did the exact same thing on the other side. So now we have his ears. Oh, and don't forget to fasten this off. Now we are going to make his arms and legs, which have the exact same pattern. Make 5 single crochet in a magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. We don't have to connect the end, we can just make a continuous round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make a slip stitch and make sure to cut a long tail for sewing. And you're gonna have to make 3 more of these so we can attach them here. So now we have our 4 limbs ready. Take your yarn needle and let's attach the arms first. So let's put it, we want to put it right here at the very side. So I'm just going to go in here. Make sure it only spans 2 rounds, so it doesn't go farther than that. And there you go. That is his arm attached. Let's go to the other side. Okay. Now we're gonna do the legs. So for the legs, I just like to put them close together, right? I like to put them right here. So basically the same as attaching the arms, except now it's on the bottom. Put them close together like this. When you're happy with how they look, then you can fasten them off. So to make the bag, you need to make a magic circle first, like so, and then make 1, 2 single crochet, and then double crochet 3 times, and then single crochet 2 times, and 3 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So after this, we're gonna make round 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. 3 slip stitch and 3 single crochet in the same stitch, 2 slip stitch, and then 3 single crochet in the same stitch again to make the ear, and make 1 and 2. There you go. And we have our basic pouch that looks like this. Now we're gonna make the chain, so don't fasten off. So chain 26, or however many your Chiikawa needs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So just kind of measure it first. Take your Chiikawa and see if it wraps around well. I think it does, so 26 is good for me. And how you're going to attach this to the other side is you find kind of the back of the ear, so right around here. go behind the ear, don't go in the stitch in front, and just make a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. And there you have the basic pochetta. Take your yarn needle and just kind of weave it in the back to make sure it's secure. And you can cut these off. Just take some white felt and roughly cut this into a circle. Or more like an oval. And if you like the size, I think I'm good with the size. So here I have this white part for his mouth, and it's going to be the same method that I use for the blush. I just take a sewing needle. I take a sewing needle with black thread and just kind of like thread it through like this. Don't have to be super exact, but yeah, make sure. Take your glue and just kind of glue it on there. To make the eyes, just take your yarning needle and embroidery yarn and just kind of make tiny slits for eyes. I find this is the easiest way to make the eyes. And there you have the pochita. Just kind of slip it out like this. Thank you so much for using this tutorial. Follow me on Instagram for more updates, and I'll see you later.